Good morning, BookTube. It is very, very early, which is why I am using a handheld phone to film this, and why I'm in the kitchen with the door closed, because my husband is still asleep. Anyway, it's been a while, and I have felt inspired to film something. Heather and Bert are running the Shorty September readathon, or is it a readathon? Yes, it is. It's a month-long readathon. I'm sure most of you have heard of it. It's fantastic. I love that it's sort of come out of a joke. And it's just really good fun because it's not very prescriptive. Anyway, I'm trying to take part in it, and I have not read that many, but they are the perfect thing for me right now because I'm incredibly busy. I've just kind of been handed a rather hard deadline on finally, actually handing in this stupid bachelor's thesis that I've been procrastinating on for I don't know how long. And so I'm spending like nearly all of my free time at the library, not reading fiction or only the fiction that I intend to write about. But every so often in my breaks and on my commute, I try to read a book that is not for that. And so short books is where it's at. I mean, I was kind of doing Shorty September before it was September because apparently that was the only thing that worked for my reading slump. But I'm happy to continue it. So I thought I would pick up phone and film a, I don't know, semi-reading vlog slash mini review of the books as I read them, I guess. And this is the start of it. Just having a protein shake, which is really not the thing that I normally have for breakfast, but I had some bread, there's not that much left, therefore it was not enough, and apparently I'm supposed to have protein with my ADHD meds, which is something I've not been super careful about, and I've noticed yesterday because goodness was I jittery. There was too much, I think. Yeah, there was just not enough protein in my breakfast potentially, so I'm trying that out now. Anyway, this is completely beside the point of books, so I'm gonna shut up now and hopefully tell you about the latest books I've been reading in a minute or, several hours. Bye! I am about to go to the library, but I thought I would first film this short bit to talk about two books I have read already for Shorty September, I guess, and my current read. So first off is Claudia Piñeiro's All Yours. I think I started this in August for Women in Translation, but it is now also doubled up as a shorty because it's under 200, I can't remember exactly, 160 something pages. It also just reads incredibly quickly anyways. It has very, very short chapters, and it's rather compelling. So this is crime fiction. I obviously bought this on the back of liking Elena Knows. I would say it is also not your sort of typical whodunit. This is from the, wait, actually, does it show several perspectives? It does, but it's mainly from the perspective of a wife, basically a scorned wife whose husband has taken a lover, and that lover, meets an untimely death, which seems to be an accident, and then things happen. The wife tries to like hide any sort of connection that he may have had with this victim, because she's trying to sort of hold on to the sort of, I guess, the comfortable life she has with him. There are some other chapters interspersed that are basically just dialogue. It's usually like telephone conversations, not only, but basically between the teenage daughter and her friend mainly, who has some issues and secrets of her own that her parents are far too self-absorbed to notice, to pay any attention to the daughter and her issues. And yes, like I said, it was quite compelling. There's a few sort of other twists happening, obviously, that I do not want to divulge, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who would like to read it. But for this, normally non-crime reader, I did very much enjoy this. I think, to an extent, it's a criticism of sort of certain, I guess, conservative ideals that seem to be mainly concerned with keeping up certain facades over, actually caring for your loved ones, including your daughter. Yes, let's leave it at that. I can recommend it. I think I gave it 4 stars though. It was not like, it was not like a perfect read, but I did very much enjoy it. And like I said, very, very quick. So I think I do not know all of the prompts at the moment for this Shorty September, but I'm pretty sure this could have counted. Oh yeah, I would have counted this for the slasher, for the ripped shorts. Because I don't think I would actually read a slasher, and I don't have any other crime novels. But it could have also worked, obviously, for Bermuda Shorts, which was translated fiction, I think. And the other one I read was Bear by Marian Engel. Marian Engel? I don't know how you pronounce that name in English. This was quite prominent on, at least in some bubble of BookTube that I was watching, but I can't remember. Was it Kieran from Katie Books? And, well, I just know that someone else also mentioned it, like last year. Also reads rather quickly, also has rather short chapters. And it is about a woman whose name I've already forgotten, who is a historian, goes to sort of reside in an old house that has been left to this historical institute because she's supposed to catalogue anything that that is in the house, if there's anything of value or of historical interest and so forth. And she goes there. This is sort of kind of her dream posting, I guess, compared to what she's done before. And it turns out the family who used to own this and who built that sort of big whatever house used to keep bears, and odd sexual relations with the bear ensue. It's as odd as other people have mentioned. It's also quite beautiful in places. There were certain pieces of writing, certain sentences that I thought were really, really beautiful. Particularly for some reason, sounds. The way she described sounds, she had some really nice bits in there. And so the portrayal of the protagonist's utter loneliness, I thought was really, really good. But also, still fucking weird. Sorry. So yeah, I think also a four-star book, 4-star read. Yeah, good entertainment, I guess, to an extent. Yeah. And then my current read, also for Shorty September, I guess, because you know there are no rules, and this is, well, yeah, this is only 170 something. This is including some commentary. Is fictions by Borges. I've read a few of these short stories already before. I'm buddy reading this with Marc Nash. And this doubles up as reading for my bachelor's thesis. So it's kind of like a mix of leisure and reading for uni stuff. But yeah, that's sort of my current short reads. I have another one, but that's not really a Shorty September read, so I guess let's just keep it to only those books for now. I have shit tons of other options of what I could be reading, but I've decided not to do a TBR because they are usually, you know, do I actually follow them? Not very much, so what's the point? So yeah, I'll just talk about them as and when I do actually read them. Okay, next up, I guess I might mention something about this, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll leave that to some other time when I have had more time to think about it. But yeah, Borges, always a bit of mindfuck. Incredibly interesting sort of ideas and lots of food for thought. And yeah, obviously in a way then not as entertaining as my other reads, because it's certainly for me not really a quick read in that sense, because I'm going through there like going, oh, can I use this? Could I maybe link that? La 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 la. So it takes a while. But nonetheless, I do really enjoy reading Borges, generally speaking, so there we go. How long can we make this? Let's stop now and let's get to the library, shall we? I mean, not you, but me. Bye. More Borges. I need to find another book that is slightly less challenging for my breaks, I think. But for now, this will have to do. It's a ghost town. An infinitude of Chinas, I guess. Reminds me of Borges. Hello again. It's a few days later. I have barely read a thing. Okay, maybe that's not true, but I have not finished any other book, even though they are all shorties. But I don't know how much I talked about it last time, but I'm ridiculously busy at the moment, and it's yeah, I'm kind of like squeezing in reading in like tiny 5 to 10 minute bursts when I have a short break from teaching in between class, or like not in between classes, but yeah, when we're all doing a break in this really long intensive course thing, and on my commute and stuff like that, and it takes a while, and then plus, like I said, otherwise I'm like at the library quite a lot, which is obviously also reading, but not my Shorty September books mostly. I have read more of my Borges, some of which was fantastic so far. I think I'm like 3/4 through it. And then I had this sort of moment of mood reading urges striking, and so I started reading, what is it called? Travesty by, well, now I don't know the author's name, John something, I think. Anyway, also a shorty, which I put under either, what was it called? Playsuit Shorts, which the prompt was a book you may regret reading. And also, it could also go under Emperor's New Shorts, which is unreliable narrator. I don't know, obviously. I haven't read that much about it in that sense. But yeah, the guy seems a bit unhinged, certainly. So we'll see. Yeah, not really, have not really read enough to gauge it. I mean, clearly the protagonist is like, I guess, appalling. But yeah, I don't know yet. And now I'm trying to figure out what to pack for our holiday. We are traveling tomorrow, and I'm trying to figure out what books to pack, because I'm sure you all know the issue of packing too many, but also if you pack too few, then you don't have enough choice, and that's awful. But the added problem, now my in-laws are coming by, and they can bring a lot of the books that I bought to, like, you know, be delivered to their house in the UK, because, you know, Brexit makes all of that stuff otherwise, you know, really, really expensive. Anyway, they can bring a whole lot, which means I should really not pack too many because I want to bring some home. But yeah, you know, now I've started all these books and I need to bring my thesis stuff. So it's like, ooh, how are we gonna make space for that? Anyway, I still have to deliberate, I guess. Hello, it's me again, still struggling with packing. So I just thought I would tell you the name of the author that I'd forgotten before, Travesty by John Hawkes. This was a very random Oxfam find. It's definitely a shorty, 120 something, 28. And it's just really weird so far. But like, listen to this, okay? Travesty is John Hawkes' most extreme vision of eroticism and comic terror. In the south of France, an elegant sports car is speeding through the night, bearing a man, his daughter, and his best friend toward a fatal crash. As he drives, the privileged man justifies in sustained monologue his firm persuasion that willed destruction is the ultimate act of the poetic imagination. Can you now imagine why I think that the protagonist is kind of an appalling guy? But it's still kind of intriguing. I have not yet found any humour in here, because it does say, well, I mean, it says comic terror. I guess, does that mean humour, or does it mean, nah? Or does it mean something seems almost silly because, I don't know, we're gonna see. But, you know, because they keep, yeah, because they called it sort of like a triad of novels concerned with sex myth, the imagination, and the absurd, and Travesty's the last one, and they call it the icily comic portrait of the poet as suicide and murderer. I have no clue what to think of this, but, you know, only 29 pages into it. Then again, you know, 29 pages sounds so little, but it is a quarter. So, we'll see. Okay, and then the other, oh wait, no, I talked about this before. Borges fictions. Yeah. What can you say about this? It's fantastic. I've got a few stories left. I mean, not every single the story as thought-provoking as, you know, some of the best ones, but generally speaking, this is really good, as was to be expected, to be honest. And in this case, not unlike in the LF, so far I've not been super annoyed by how he writes women. I mean, in fairness, mostly because he's not writing women. But, you know, usually when he included any, it was kind of annoying. And now I'm trying to figure out what books to bring. Because, like I said, I haven't finished this yet. Neither have I finished this. But wouldn't it be annoying to pack a book where I have, like, I don't know, 30 pages left? On the other hand, this is also part of my work for uni. So theoretically, you know, I might want to have a look in there while I'm working on stuff. I don't know. But yeah, so that's one thing, and I'm not sure if this really should take up that much real estate, even though it's tiny, just because I'm still not sure if I'm liking it. Yeah, and then, like I said, so Shorty September, and I have a shit ton of short books, apparently. This is only a very, very small selection of stuff that I went like, maybe this, maybe that, maybe the other. So, and obviously short books are kind of cool to take with you on holiday, because you can, like, stick them in a bag somewhere, la la la. Anyway, so I found this weird book in Oxfam. It wasn't even very cheap, considering that it came from Oxfam, but somehow I was intrigued, even though this could be a book that I might end up hating. It's one of those where you're like, I'm really intrigued, but I might really fucking hate the voice. I mean, obviously read into it the tiniest bit, and yeah, I'm not sure. So this is like a guy who was born in 91, and, you know, he's talking about this mid-20s dude who, you know, I'm assuming, you know, thinks a lot about, like, the horror that is his, you know, privileged mid-20s life, which could be awful. But also, I think a lot of it is about this sort of, you know, living life on a sort of surface and, you know, within sort of virtual reality, as opposed to the real world. And like, no, or, you know, where basically where all of that is kind of the same, you know, to a person who's grown up in the way that we have, maybe. Anyway, I feel like I'm not really making much sense. Basically, this is a prompt for, oh no, this is a book for the prompt. What is it called again? Playsuit shorts, something that you might regret later. I seem to have a lot of those. I have several more that I didn't actually choose here because I don't want to take them on holiday, because they were lent to me, and I do not want to travel with them somewhere where there's sand and all sorts of other things around that can damage them, because they're not mine. Then I have a poetry collection, which is called In Transit, which seems rather apt to be reading when you're traveling, but I'm not sure. Will I actually want to read poetry? I mean, and if I do, will I want to read, I mean, I said collection, it's an anthology. Is that what you call it? Yeah, I think so, right? Various poets. So, I don't know. I mean, it could be good. Like, if you don't like one, maybe they'll just countless others that you might like. And then I've got, see, this is what I mean. I've just got far too many options. I have got Minor Detail. That was probably also on the women in translation thing. I mean, I've been meaning to read this for a long time and still haven't. Why not, you know? Although, I mean, I guess it'll be depressing, so. But in fairness, most of the books I have are depressing. Although this seems like it might not be. And I'm sure I've held this up several times in the last few months. I feel like this might make it into my luggage. Yeah, and then one other one is Marc Nash's 28 Far Cries. It's like flash fiction. Had this also for a while. And I think I read 2 or 3 of them already. But that's the nice thing about, well, short stories and flash fiction is, you know, you don't have to read them all in one go. Which is why maybe this would be nice to bring with me, because I mean, I like his writing style. We know this already, but at the same time, it's not like the same kind of commitment as reading a novel. Yeah, so I think this might make it also into it, because it's also very slim. So I think these 2, and then some of the other stuff that I chose, but I cannot by any means take all of these. And then I have another one, which is definitely not a shorty, but I started this anyway. It's Wolfgang Hilbig's Ich. Well, you know, I in English, because I basically very spontaneously suggested to Marc to also buddy read this, because he was starting it and it sounded fascinating, and I'd found like a cheap copy, which is like, this is a second-hand copy. Yeah, it looks like an unloved present that nobody ever bothered to read, and they wanted like €3 for it. So, you know, I always love when I find that kind of thing. Was it 3? Oh, I can't remember now. 3.50, something like that. It's beautiful. It even has like a little bookmark, and I think it's cloth bound. Oh yes, it's cloth bound. Ah, beautiful. Isn't it nice when you find those? Oh, and it has an is that called embossed title? Yeah, I don't know. It's just nicely made. Can you tell that I'm tired? I'm very tired. Anyway, I hope to speak to you soon. I hope to be able to also read a little bit more on holiday and sleep more, because seriously, that course, it just makes me get up far too early and it's not fun. But yeah, it was very nice though today, because I have not really taught a course like that before, not in this sort of setup, and some of the students can't take part in the last day. Or actually a lot of them can't because of other obligations from their sort of vocational school. Anyway, and some of them waited when we were finishing. They waited up to like ask me if they would see me again during their apprenticeship. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. This is like, I'm not from the school. I'm, you know, like freelance, la la. Anyway, and they were like, oh, that's really too bad, because this was the first time I had fun in an English class. I was like, but yeah, having somebody tell you that they liked and they had fun, even though you did grammar nearly, like, I think every day I did some grammar, was pretty cool. Yeah, I was a bit touched. So anyway, why am I still rambling? Maybe I need to speak to human beings, and not to my camera. Bye. Look who would like to get packed, though. Lottie. Are you annoyed that you're not coming with? Sorry. But you've got really good people going by. He does not care. He would rather stay in the fucking suitcase. Oh well. It's alright, isn't it?